Hello kids, I have my handwriting pulled out for today. It's page number 22. It's the letter O and it's a C stroke letter. So all I'm going to do is, just like anything else, I'm going to put my name at the top so I get into a good practice of doing that. You can write it in cursive if you want to, if you're able to. If you can't, then that's okay. You can just print it. Even if it's in a packet, like I said, please try to remember to put your name on it, just because it's a good habit to do so. So as I get started here, if I read the directions, it says put your pencil a small step down at 2 o'clock on the dot and write each letter as the instructions are read. Make a C stroke and close. So this is my 2 o'clock position, right about here. I'm going to make my C stroke, and then I'm just going to close it up. And it's the same thing for a lowercase o. 2 o'clock position, C stroke, close it up. Now, if you're curious, most capital O's are not connected from anything. So an O would just start here, and then if I want to connect that, I just kind of make a little loop over here. Sometimes I bring it down from here if it's like an L or something. That way I don't have to connect it at the top, but you can connect it from the top or you can connect it from the bottom, but you can't do both. And it's the same thing with the O. A lot of times people will just connect this O from the top, but you can also connect it from the bottom. And if you connect it from the bottom, the thing is you have to lift up your pencil. So if I connect it from the top, I can make my C stroke, I can close it up, and then I can make my little loop. But if I'm going to connect it from the bottom, I have to make my C stroke, close it up, and then I would bring my pencil back down here, which is perfectly fine. Okay, some people will say, well, in cursive writing, your pencil should never leave your paper, but it's okay. So I'm just going to go down and I'm going to practice my uppercase O's, making my C stroke, closing it up, put my palm firmly on my desk or my surface, make my C stroke, close it up. I'm going to go all the way through so that I make the total number of O's, capital O's, as I have here. Okay, write a line of uppercase O's, and then write a line of lowercase. So same thing, except for I start just below the middle line. So my 2 o'clock position is down here. And then I just make a smaller O. And I go over here and I make a smaller one. And I go over here and make a smaller one, or lowercase if I want to use the correct term. And I try not to go too fast because then my writing will get a little sloppy. But I'm going to carry it all the way through to the end. Once I finish both of those, now I practice looping my O's. So I'm going to start with my C stroke, and then I'm just going to loop it over and make another one. So see how I kind of got those little extra lines in there? That's okay. Okay. They don't have them there, but the only way to do that is to exactly come back down and go through. So for me, it's a little bit easier if I make my C stroke and then I come through under and then I just double loop there. So it kind of looks like a pair of upside down eyes if I do two O's in a row. Either way you want it to look is perfectly fine with me, as long as, again, they're connected there. But what you don't want to do is make your C stroke, close it up, make your C stroke, close it up, and then connect them. Okay, so this would not, it looks right, but it would not be the correct way to do it, because you don't want to lift your pencil up. You want to keep it put down. So it's really up to you. Use whatever method you like. And then I'm going to practice different words. This one says orbit, O-R-B-I-T. So I'm going to make my O, my R, B, I, T. And you can see I kind of went off the lines there too. As you're practicing, that's okay, but my R probably got a little big there, and maybe my O did too. So that one's okay. I don't have to erase it or redo it, but then when I start job, J-O-B, I'm going to start it closer to the edge. And I'm going to make my letters slowly and carefully. And I'm going to close up that V a little bit more than they do because I just think it looks better. So, but this one I fit on there, which is good. And then you would finish up cool, C-O-O-L. After you get done with cool, remember what I told you. When I do this, I want you to write the sentence they write, Otto picks rocks, down below. And I want it to end about the same spot. Okay, so I don't want to make it too wide. And if it doesn't end right there, that's okay. But I want to try. So I'm going to start my O, my C stroke, and I'm going to close it up. And then I'm going to start my T down at the bottom. So I lifted my pencil up. And then I cross my T's after I finish writing. So Otto is about the same size. Pix is going to start right about here. And I connect it there. And I come up in my K's. I always struggle with K's. I always think they look funny. But, and then I go back and dot my I. And then last but not least, rocks. And you can see I'm going to end over here. That's okay. I'm going to make my R. I'll make my O with my C stroke like they've taught me. Make my C and K and S. So just kind of play around with it. Because like I said up here, they want you to use the C stroke. So that's why they're saying just make your little loop and come back around. And again, I start my C stroke here. I think it's easier to make these little loops in there, but if you practice it, you can do it either way. And these little loops are not going to be a terrible thing for your cursive handwriting. So just do the best you can. Once you finish with it, just like anything else, you just take it, you put it back in your binder in the yellow tab, and then you close it up and get ready for the next lesson. Thanks, kids. Bye.